Hey everyone, it's Matt, and I wanted to welcome you to the first podcast in this episode. So I go by Matt, or on my website, on my food blog, I go by Matty G, whichever you prefer. And in this podcast, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about movies and food. So the way it works is I'm going to talk about a movie I saw this week and either a restaurant I tried this week or a restaurant I've been to before within the past week. So the movie I saw recently, actually I just got to see on the big screen, was the original Dracula from 1931. So I've seen this movie as a kid. I watched it again maybe about 10 or so years ago on Blu-ray, but this was a cool experience to see on the big screen, and I saw it at Showcase Cinemas. They were doing a bringbacks event, and it was a fun experience. I really think it was good to see on the big screen. If you could see a classic movie on the big screen, not just Dracula or Frankenstein or horror, any kind of classic movie to see on the big screen is always a good plus. So, if you haven't seen it, it stars Bela Lugosi, who plays Dracula. It is from 1931. It does have sound. And one thing I didn't realize that from my previous viewings is that it doesn't have a lot of music. And the reason I mention that is because it has an opening score in the beginning. However, throughout the rest of the movie, it's pretty quiet. One thing I did find funny is during some of the scenes where Dracula gives a serious stare, I could actually hear on the screen next to me the Taylor Swift movie going on. So during the very quiet scenes, I could briefly hear people screaming and shouting the music as well as the music being played for Taylor Swift. So I enjoyed watching on the big screen. If you haven't seen Dracula, I recommend watching it. It's a great watch, especially around the Halloween time. That's part of the reason why they're doing these classic throwbacks for the Halloween season. And yeah, so going over to the food section. So I haven't been to a new restaurant in the past week or so, but recently, maybe about 2 weeks ago, I went to a place called Mike's. I believe it's called Mike's Food and Spirits, located in Somerville, Massachusetts. I got myself a chicken wrap sandwich, which was great. It had crispy chicken, it had lettuce, I got it with no tomatoes, no avocados, but it was very good. I do recommend if you're in the area in Somerville, check out the restaurant. So going forward for this podcast, what I'd like to do eventually is have this once a week, but I think for now I might do it maybe once a month or depending on what time tells. In terms of the style, it's going to be the same. Whereas I'm going to talk about food and talk about movies. It might be different orders. Maybe I'll talk about the food first to the movie, and so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to give a rating for the food or the movie. Like I'm not going to give thumbs up, thumbs down. For both, I'm just going to talk about both. So I'll talk about what I got for food, what movie I saw, kind of continue this style, and yeah, see where it goes from there. Well, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.